everybody. My name is Andrew-Essien. I'm the Executive Director of Fair Care Foundation, and Fair Care is a partner of this year's edition of Ability in Disability Conference, organized by Angel Wings Global Freedom Foundation. It is a pleasure to be with you, even though virtually, but it is a pleasure to be here. Now, the theme of this year's conference is No One Left Behind. A very apt theme for a time like this. But let me ask you a question. When the word no one left behind comes to mind, what comes to mind? Others. You think about moving and not allowing others left behind. So you want to hold on and make sure everyone goes with you. But do you know it's possible that in the movement, no one left behind, that you can be left behind? Yeah. That's what is informing the topic that I have chosen for the next few minutes. And the talk that I want to deliver to you in the next few minutes is on the topic disability coping strategies as regards mental health. Disability coping strategy as regards mental health. It doesn't matter whether you have ever had a challenge, or you have a form of disability, or you are affected by disability directly or indirectly. The truth is that irrespective of which category you fall under, because I know I'm talking to an array of people, if you go through something, you always develop feelings. Some are positive, some are negative. It is important that you identify these and learn to deal with them, because they could lead to consequences. Now, irrespective of the thing that whether you have a disability directly, visual impairment, hearing impairment, intellectual disability, physical disability, irrespective of if that's what you're going through, feelings can arise from a challenge or having a disability or being affected by disability. And some of the feelings I brought from my own life, I'm not going outside, but feeling less of a person. These are real things. Feeling undeserving. You feel that you don't deserve attention. You feel that you don't deserve the best things in life. Feeling undeserving. Another feeling that can arise is feeling guilty, especially when one needs to rely on family, rely on friends, rely on others for simple things. You begin to feel guilty that you're taking their time, you're taking their strength, feeling guilty. Another one is feeling unloved. When you don't feel loved, you feel unloved. Another one is feeling bitter. These are feelings that can arise over time from dealing with disability. Feeling bitter. You're bitter about the situation you found yourself in. Another one is feeling angry. Literally livid that you have to live with this condition, or you have to deal with disability, whether directly or indirectly. And one that is very subtle but real is feeling alone. When you feel lonely, you feel like you're the only one who understands how you really feel, which is true. Feeling alone. Now, disability is usually associated with the feeling of a loss of something significant. Whether you agree or not, this is the truth. Even when you have tried on your own, the world tends to want to remind you of the things you cannot do. Am I right? Yeah. So it is essential that in this journey of not being left behind, that you're able to identify and deal and cope with disability as is where on your journey in life. Very essential. Now, as regards the stages that one goes through while interacting with disability as you're living your life, they've been grouped into five stages that you can go through when you're dealing with your emotions on disability journey. And please, I want to mention that it's not linear. Like if you feel stage 1 today, you feel stage 2 tomorrow. No. You could be at stage 5 and go back to stage 1. It just happens. Different circumstances and different interactions that you could have with your environment can lead to different responses. So the stages, which are 5, that you can experience in the course of your journey of disability as you're living your life. Number 1 is denial. where you see this is not happening to me. This cannot be happening to me. It's a common defense mechanism. I remember when I recently, got involved in the accident and then had to become mobility impaired and use a wheelchair. I kept saying, like, somebody should wake me. It's a dream. Yeah, this is not happening to me. This cannot be me. So it's a denial. Another one is anger. Anger may be aimed at anything, anyone. Underneath anger is mainly pain. When you feel pain. When you feel pain. So anger is a stage that somebody can go through in the course of dealing with disability. Another stage that you can go through is bargaining. Usually it has to do with an internal struggle where you believe that you can do something to take disability away from you. Sometimes you begin to ask questions like, why me? And then you begin to ask questions like, if only I can be good, maybe disability will go away. So it's like a bargaining stage. Now, another one that is so deep, so real is depression, an empty feeling. You feel a loss that is so deep. Depression is real and you have to deal with it. If not, it can swallow a person. Now, another stage that people go through in disability journey is acceptance. At this stage, we learn to live with it, we learn to deal with it, we learn to walk with it. Now, like I said, it is not linear. Somebody can go from denial straight to accepting disability. Somebody can move from acceptance, maybe something new, fresh happened in their lives, and they go back and they fall into depression. The important thing is that it is important for you to identify as much as you can what stage you are in at different times. Why? Because challenges that we face as regards disability that can lead to emotional buildup, if we do not deal with it, they can leave us worse off. So that the challenge is not even the disability, but it is our reaction to disability. Now, the worst thing that can happen to any person with a disability is when you allow these emotions to get pent up, built up, and you lash out. Normally, what happens is that you remain stuck in that situation. You allow everything about your life to be defined by disability. Another thing that can happen when we do not deal with our emotions and the state of our mind in the course of this disability, or living with a disability, or having a child with a disability, is that we get angry. You just become an angry person. A little thing, you get angry, you flare up, and people begin to dodge you. That's the truth. They begin to avoid you because they say, even if I just say small things, this person will just be angry. Another thing that not dealing with our emotions in the course of having a disability or living a life that is affected by disability is that it can lead to missed opportunities. Missed opportunities because you don't allow yourself to feel anything other than sadness, entitlement, like anger. You don't allow yourself to feel joy, so you don't take on any opportunities. And another one is when you develop bad character. It is also as a result of not dealing with emotions in the course of coping or having a disability. Is it important to deal with the emotional aspect of having a disability? Oh yes. Oh yes. Because you should never allow your life be defined only by that disability. That would be an error. So the question is, how do I cope with disability? How do I overcome challenges? And how do I maintain mental well-being in spite of disability? Remember, whether you have a disability or you're affected by disability, you have to develop coping strategies that will help you in whatever stage you are going through, whether it is denial, whether it's acceptance, whether it's bargaining, whether it's depression. Now, number one, I'll try to give you maybe 10. If there's time, I'll give you more. And then we'll go into action plans. Number one, learn to accept your disability. I know somebody's like, God forbid, it's okay. When I say learn to accept your disability, It is not easy. In fact, it is the most difficult thing to do. Ask anybody with disability. But I want to shape your mind or give you a different perspective of what I mean when I say learn to accept your disability. It doesn't mean that you are giving up or you're giving in to the challenges that you face as a person with disability. No. Rather, when I say learn to accept your disability, I am saying that at this time, at this moment, at this instant, this is what it is. So rather than put my life on hold, I will see that this is what it is, and I will learn to work it to my advantage in fulfilling my purpose. I will learn to not allow it keep me down. That's what I mean by learn to accept yourself. It's not as if you just sit down and be like, yeah, see now, I've accepted it. I'm here. What can I do? And I just stay. No, that's not what I mean. What I'm saying is, you wake up in the morning, you know that for now, I mean, I'm a Christian, so I believe in miracles. But I'm saying for now, this is it. So you learn to cope with it. You learn to live with it. You make it work to your advantage. You refuse to stay stuck on the fact that you're disabled and then you don't do anything. That's what I mean by accept it. The second one is learn as much as possible about your disability. Isn't it interesting the angles I'm taking? These are not things you will hear from people because they say, don't worry. Now, let me tell you why you should learn as much as you can about your disability. Knowledge is power. If you know more about that condition, you are in a position to take better care of yourself. If I asked 10 people in this hall right now, what is your diagnosis? What did the doctor say is wrong? What were you diagnosed with? You cannot tell me. You cannot say because you don't know. But in knowing what the diagnosis is, you will be able to know the typical progression of that disability and the common complications that can arise. I've seen persons with disability who did not know that it is easy because of the condition that they have for them to have high blood pressure. And then they live carelessly. And then they find that when they maybe move from the bed to the chair, they get dizzy. Sometimes they don't know that they need to check it. They need to find out what's going on. And then when you look at records, you now see that the longevity of life of persons with disability is short because a lot of people do not know what the progress is. Now, I met a young lady who had multiple sclerosis. Now, for a long time, she did not know what was wrong. She just knew that she kept shaking. She was able to get diagnosis and know that it was multiple sclerosis. Now, in knowing that it was multiple sclerosis, she was now able to take the right medication that helped her to control the symptoms and have a better quality of life because she now knew what was wrong and she was able to deal with the symptoms that she faced. Knowing what is going on with your body and what to expect will help you to prepare yourself and will help you to adjust more quickly and live your life fuller. Now, number 3, and this is so important, avoid too much focus on your problems and weakness. Yeah. Now, it is easy to major on the things that are wrong. I wish I was there. We would do an activity. And if you can, I want you to write 5 things that are your strengths. What are the 5 strengths that you have? For somebody, it could be that you are somebody who is a happy person by default. For somebody, it could be that you can make others laugh. For somebody, it can be that you are a good advisor. You can advise, you can give good counsel. For another person, it could be that you are such a beautiful dresser that people are very inspired when you walk into a room and you look nice and clean. For another person, it could be that you can sing and you have such a glorious voice. For another person, it can be that you inspire. I want you to think about it. 5 things that are your strengths. If I told you to come up with weaknesses, there will be many, but just locate 5 of them. Now, write 5 of them and put them in a place that you can see them all the time. Focus on them, build them. And you'll find that at a point you become you become better at your strengths than your weaknesses. Oh, time is going. Now, number 4, it may help you to search out inspiring stories of other people with disabilities who are thriving and living their lives fully. That's why there's so many videos out there on social media that people use to tell their stories and inspire others. You can get motivated, especially when you're going through tough times. I know sometimes when I'm feeling down, if I don't do music, because I love to sing, and that's one of the ways that I get myself spiced up and get myself inspired and motivated. But if you listen, you can listen to other people's stories. In fact, I've heard people say that when they were able to hear what other people could do, that they challenged themselves to do better with their lives. So listen to inspiring stories. They're all over Facebook, they are all over social media. Find inspiring stories. Number 5, turn outward healing. Turning outward is healing. That's share your experiences. I found that many persons with disability are secluded. We feel alone. We don't want to share our stories. When I started out on my disability journey, I found that I didn't know much, but I learned from other people's experiences. I had to go and interact with other persons with disability to see how they were coping with it. So, in telling your own story, you will find that you are healing yourself and also healing others, for bearing one another. Now, number 6, stop dwelling on the past. I know you were born with a disability. I know your child has a disability. I know it's hard. But don't dwell on the past. Don't settle on what was, how it used to be, how it was to be before. Focus on the present. So your mind will tend to magnify and overly focus on negatives. But if you focus on what is present, thank God for the day, thank God for life, thank God for the gift of life, thank Him for anything. Just focus on the present. You don't have to know too much about the future, but at least if you can look around and see things that are good in the now, it gives you courage to look forward into the future. Now, the next one I want to tell you is very crucial. You don't have to put a happy face all the time. The other day, I think I was peeved about something. I was just upset about something. And then somebody was like, "Where's that smile?" And I was like, right now, I don't feel like smiling. I'm mad at something and I need to be able to express it. So it's okay to express, when you're angry about something, but don't stay angry. Don't pretend. If you need help, and this brings me to the next stage, ask for help and learn to accept help. These are different ways that you can cope with disability. I like to say another one. Nurture important relationships. No man is an island. You can build courage, you can build knowledge by association. So interact with people that you want to be like. Interact, and don't limit yourself to disability communities. Go out there. If you're interested in education, you can link up with a mentor in the education sector. Has nothing to do with disability. If you've defined your purpose, link up with people. If you're interested in health, if you're interested in development, well, find mentors and link up with them. Now, I know this one will sound interesting. Start giving to others. We have an entitlement mentality, persons with disability. We feel like everybody should do something for us. But see, you can do something for another person. You can do something for another person. Let me tell you something that happened. Somebody was telling me a story. She was looking for plenty money to do projects. Plenty money. She also has a disability. And then she now saw another lady. They went to a community. And all she did was give this man 5,000 naira, small money, to start groundnut business. Do you know what happened? The woman called her whole family, whether her pastor, everybody, to pray for this woman that gave her 5,000. And she was like, see me here, wanting. And if I just gave 5,000 to somebody and the person's life has changed, you too can be an instrument of source of joy to somebody. Give without expecting anything in return. The next one, another coping strategy is don't allow disability define you. Hey, do not. I know we are labeled in boxes, I know. But do not allow your alpha and your omega, the alpha and omega of your life, to start and end with disability. I refuse it for you. Instead, be defined by the purpose for your life. It is a better definition. It will put your life in perspective. It will allow you to thrive above disability, even when you're feeling discouraged. When you have identified your purpose, if you said my purpose in life is to bring joy to others through comedy, can you see? It's not defined by disability. You will now use disability as a tool to fulfill your purpose rather than allow disability to tell you all the things that you cannot do. That's what we tend to do. The other day I was interacting with women with disabilities that we had sent through our program, and I told them, do not be a businesswoman who has customers because of disability. No. Be a businesswoman who has customers because her product is on point. So you're a baker, you bake cakes. Let people not buy cake out of pity. Let them buy cake because they want your products. You see? So you do not allow disability to define your life. Rather, allow your purpose to. And another way is laugh, smile, dance, write, find what gives you joy, and do it without apology. Laugh, smile, dance. If you see me dancing, I dance well, right? Find what gives you joy and do it without apology. In closing this talk, I want you to remember that different things measure success in life. Find your lane, run your race with everything that you have, looking forward and understanding that you deserve to succeed, you deserve the best at life, and you will see that your mental capacity to cope with what you're going through will increase, and you will never be left behind. Rather, you carry so many people along. My name is Andrew-Essien, Executive Director of Fake Foundation, and it has been such an honor to share with you on coping strategies for disability as regards mental health. Thank you.